I'm Travis Good, one of the co-founders and CISO of Workstreet. Workstreet is a professional service organization that supports companies in building and operationalizing security and compliance programs. We're also an RPO, so we support companies with CMMC. In this video, we're going to be talking about CUI, how you should be thinking about it, what it means, and how to address it when it comes to CMMC compliance. CUI is essentially anything that is produced as a part of a contract to do work for the government. So that could be anything from software that you're developing to technical drawings or specifications to manufacturing process, design, schemas, things like that. There's two approaches to understanding where CUI exists in your systems and where are the touch points between your systems and your people and other organizations that are sharing CUI. So one is really the typical way, which is you should see in your contract or in your contracts with the government the types of information that you're processing, the type of information that's covered. It should list CUI if CUI is something that you're touching or processing in some way. That's really like the textbook way to understand like where CUI is coming from, what CUI you're processing, and really the way that most people will think about CUI. What we are seeing with CMMC is similar to what you see in healthcare, which is a lot of prime contractors are requiring companies to do CMMC level 2, meaning they're requiring them to do the things as if they were processing CUI, whether the contracts specify CUI or not. So in those cases, it's really important to understand what your prime contractors are expecting of you in terms of the scope of your CUI environment, because it's not specified in the contract. So in that second case, it really is more of a market driven where prime contractors are needing to comply with CMMC. And by extension, they're forcing their subcontractors or others that they work with to comply with CMMC as well, whether CUI is listed in the contract or not. When you start down the path to CMMC, one of the first steps is going to be, one, understanding what level of CMMC you need to comply with. If you're processing CUI or your customers are telling you that you need to do CMMC level 2, then you need to do CMMC level 2, or you need to comply with the controls in CMMC level 2. To do that, as a next step, you want to define the scope of the CMMC relevant data for level 2. So that's the scope of CUI. In some cases, it may in fact be your entire organization. So all of your networks, all of your devices, all of your people that are in some way touching or processing CUI. In a lot of cases, it's going to end up being a subset of your people and your devices and your networks that need to interact with CUI in some way. Scoping is a really important step because oftentimes you can limit, if you have, say, 50 employees, you might be able to limit the CUI scope down to 5 to 10 of those employees and their devices and their accounts. And that will, one, significantly reduce the risk environment, right? Because it significantly reduces the size of the environment that you need to essentially comply with CUI and where CUI is going to be processed. It also, by extension of the reduced environment size, really reduces the cost significantly. So it is really important to scope the CUI environment before you go down the path of building out your secure enclave or CMMC program. Really understand where CUI is in your organization.